Your dismounts are flawless!
Today, on Starfield Essentials, in our first segment, more overhauls en route, Whofield in development, SteamDB activity, Inara added maps, cut out loading screens. In our second segment, iconic ship battles, Trackers Alliance Roach bounty record broken twice, Jars of Life, Atlas clothing and community request skins, tips from Sista Citizen. In our third segment, Flatbed carrying Frontier, Sarah fan art, new Teufel speedrun world record, a few mod warnings, and Rabbit's new Atlantis Christmas tree. My name is Richard. Let's get started. More overhauls en route. Modders continue to make big changes to Starfield. These transformations are not for everyone, but I like to keep tabs on what's happening. One massive project that started last year is called StarSim from Quarter Onion Games. You may be familiar with the StarSim mining conglomerate mod currently available as a creation. What I'm talking about now is a separate project, but it will be compatible with mining conglomerate. The new project is simply called StarSim, and it's scheduled for release in Q1 or Q2 of next year. Quarter Onion Games released a 1-hour, 20-minute gameplay demo of the new StarSim mod on YouTube last week. Besides an altered new game sequence, the most obvious difference involves a system of stargates for interstellar travel. Players do not need to open the vanilla Starfield system menu and fast travel from one planet to another. As stated by the developers in their Discord, quote, "The gate network changes the entire dynamic. Space becomes the exploration and navigation. Planets are the POIs. You can currently get to every single planet or space location that contains any unique POI or is connected to any storyline without ever once bringing up a menu," end quote. The second difference is more subtle, but it has a profound effect on gameplay. As noted in the name, StarSim is a space simulation. Whereas Starfield tends to focus on activity in the player's immediate vicinity, StarSim is simulating up to 10,000 objects in the settled systems. From what I've been able to gather from the Quarter Onion Games Discord server, the developers have implemented their own game engine within the Bethesda Papyrus scripting system. Their studio has used this engine for 15 years, but have brought it to Starfield to manifest their vision. Essentially, they are adding a galaxy-wide, constantly active economic system to Starfield. There is no separate story, but this economic aspect opens a myriad of possibilities for players. StarSim will be separate from the existing mining conglomerate creation. The goal of mining conglomerate is to add to the Argos storyline with, quote, "very light simulation functionality," end quote. StarSim, on the other hand, has simulation at its core. You will be able to use StarSim once released with mining conglomerate. I'm in talks with Quarter Onion Games to assist with testing. Although an NDA is involved, I will try to keep tabs on this project for you. Next, Whofield in development. I noticed on Reddit that there's an effort to bring a Doctor Who conversion to Starfield. This is the Whofield project by Cookiemorph. Cookiemorph has already created a Doctor Who conversion for Fallout 4. I am really pleased to see this. I've been a Doctor Who fan since the 1970s, and as a kid I knit the scarf that you see one of my kids wearing in this photo from Boston Comic-Con. That's also an original Doctor Who Fan Club of America t-shirt from the early 1980s. This footage is from Cookiemorph's YouTube channel from several months ago. It's a test of a regeneration system for Starfield. There is no ETA for this mod other than 2025. I volunteered to test this one too. Next, SteamDB activity. We continue to see a lot of activity in SteamDB for Starfield. People who think this game is dead or abandoned are just not paying attention. The question is, what does it mean? On a related note, Bethesda social media posted 2 infographics with a few statistics from Starfield. That's fun, I suppose, but I'm more interested in player counts, average hours per player, and plans for 2025. As I learn anything, remember that I posted to the community feed for this channel. Subscribe and you will not miss this daily content. Next, Inara added maps. One of my favorite resources in all of Starfield land is the Inara database run by Artie. This past week, he added maps to his site. These maps offer an awesome way to interact with Starfield content. Here is the Dazra map, for example. I really like how you can zoom around and enable or disable markers. Or here is the map for Neon. As you can see, there is a ton at these locations if you zoom out and look at the big picture. Next, cut out loading screens. This week, I tested the City Interior Map Markers for Fast Travel mod by XTC Refugee. It's currently only on Nexus Mods. I've talked about this modder before when discussing the Refurbish Goods Quest Fix mod. This new mod is pretty simple, but it makes life a little easier for a few locations. Cydonia, New Homestead, Red Mile, and The Well each get a new interior map marker. After you install this mod and visit these locations, you'll be able to visit them directly via fast travel. For example, if you want to go to the Red Mile, you don't have to fast travel to the landing pad, walk past the slow airlock, and enter the casino. Instead, you just fast travel directly inside. You will notice, however, that the game gets a little confused by this new marker. Your character will still wear a spacesuit inside the location. You can fix this problem by running back toward the door and then towards the inside again. Thank you XTC Refugee for this awesome mod. Next, Iconic Ship Battles. I finally got a chance to try the Iconic Ship Battles mod by Ship Technician. It is only available via the Creations menu. Ship Technician is famous for his rigorous testing of ship capabilities and evidence-based YouTube videos. This mod is basically a way for you to buy any of 45 ships he has created, plus engage an assortment of ships in combat. After you install this mod, you will see a new structure icon on Jemison. This is the home of the Ship Technician. It's a repurposed copy of another home in the game, but I forget which one. Basically, you will find a key that says, Zelazny is the key, which means you should fly to the Zelazny system. Once there, you will find a selection of ships to battle. I'm not going to lie, I would not have survived these battles if I had fought alone with my standard settings against these ships. I had the benefit of fighting with 2 other ships, thanks to Korodic's Fleet Commander creation, which I profiled in a previous video. Here you can see 2 of my ships are rolling in, taking on these 2 other ships, and I'm sitting back a little bit. I altered the settings on the Fleet Commander mod so that my ships would stick around only until they had low HP, hit points, hull points, whatever they're called. So they would stay in combat a little bit longer. When I had it set earlier so that they were leaving on low shields, they would get out of the battle too fast. So, yeah, these are some tough ships that Ship Technician created. So, good job with that. Good job if you want to buy some of the ships and try them. This is definitely a creation that I would try out yourself. Next, Trackers Alliance Roach bounty record broken twice. Congratulations to Reddit bar guy 1791 and Gullible Poem, who provided this footage, for breaking the record of 781 bounties held by Trackers Alliance member Roach. As you can see from Roach's response, there's not much reward for achieving this milestone. Still, Gullible Poem and bar guy 1791, you made Starfield news, which is recognized throughout the settled systems as the second best source of news after SSNN, of course. Next, Jars of Life. This past week I bought a new creation by TankGirl444 called Jars of Life, or Placeable Biomes. This is really an amazing mod. It adds an assortment of self-contained biomes to your outpost building menu. Let me demonstrate how it works. So here you can see I am placing one of these biomes. They come up as habitation biomes, and there's an assortment of these as well as a bunch of trees and such that you can place separate from the biome itself. Here's what the biome looks like from the outside, and as you can tell I created a fairly tall one, which means if I want to get up to it I gotta run up all these stairs. So we'll use the magic of editing and we will only go up a couple, and now we're at the top. When you go to these biomes, they're very impressive. They have a door that you open to go inside, so let's click that button, head on inside. And check this out, isn't that cool? This is, I think, the tropical biome, and there are levels to this. Basically, you could climb up some of these sloped rocks and such and sort of explore. You're not going to find hidden treasure or a quest or any of that. It's more about the location. So, since this is the tropical area, decided I would unequip my dude, give him a chair to sit in, and just chill for a few minutes. Of course, the rest of my crew is still in their first uniforms and Robin Locke is still wearing whatever that neon outfit that I had lying around. But look at that. I really enjoy the creativity that Tank Girl has shown with this particular mod. And I decided my player, if you're sitting on the beach, might as well jump in the water. So here we go. Here he is, swimming along, going under the waterfall. And remember, this is just one of the biomes that you can access. I also tried the volcanic biome. There's a junkyard biome. All these other places that are really neat. So I would check this mod out if you like creative things to add to your outposts. By the way, if you want slightly easier outpost production, see Domesticate All Flora and Fauna by Will NY4, who we have previously talked about on this channel. This mod makes any flora and fauna on a planet or moon capable of being farmed by your outpost. It doesn't add flora or fauna to planets or moons, it just makes it easier to simplify your production chains. And if you want a minor change to make it easier to survey planets, also check out Increase Scan Distance by Just an Ordinary Guy. This mod gives you the option to change the distance at which objects can be scanned. For example, when my character is flying around in the S-47 speeder bike, it's easier to scan objects in the air. Next, Atlas clothing and community request skins. I don't do that much with gear or clothing mods, but I wanted to point out a couple that I tried this past week. The first is Atlas Clothing by Deshawn. It's available on Creations and Nexus mods. Deshawn publishes a lot of content for Starfield, both as mods and as YouTube videos. Check out his work. I also wanted to point out 2 creations by The Wolfie that show one way to deal with the creation conundrum, which I previously covered. There is a free version of this creation, Community Request Skins, and there is a paid achievement-friendly version for 100 credits, or about $1 US. I tried the free version because I completed all achievements on my vanilla character in October. I like that modders are giving players an option for achievement-friendly versions of their creations, if achievements are that important to them. I stand by my previous recommendation, however, that Bethesda takes steps to make any creation, paid or free, achievement-friendly. Next, tips from Sista Citizen. YouTuber Sista Citizen published a helpful video aimed at players on Xbox, but it's useful for everyone. These are great tips like aim to traverse that I had not heard before. I recommend watching it. Next, Flatbed Carrying Frontier. The Redditor with an unpronounceable name, famous for making space trucker ships, which I showed in my last video, is back with a really cool design. It's a flatbed truck with the Frontier on the back. How cool is that? There's other designs to check out as well, but I recommend looking at them yourself. As always, everything I reference is in the description below. Next, Sarah fan art. Redditor QueasyHand3544 posted some thoughtful Sarah Morgan fan art in the Starfield subreddit and gave me permission to share it here. Spoiler warnings are probably warranted. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Here is the art. I love to see people express their creativity. Thank you, QueasyHand3544, for letting me share your art. Next, new Teufel speedrun world record. My favorite speedrunner, Teufel 9000, is back with another world record. This is a new game Shattered Space glitchless run, meaning Teufel started with the mine in Vectera and finished by completing the Shattered Space main quest in 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 8 seconds. Congratulations to Teufel. Next, a few mod warnings. This is a channel that focuses on good news for Starfield. I wanted to share my experience with a few mods and creations that didn't work as well as I had hoped. First is animal followers. This looked like a great way to get random creatures to follow my character, but it just didn't work that well. Next is try weapons before you buy, a paid creation. I ended up requesting a refund for this one. I thought it would be fun to have access to every weapon in the game in one place for testing purposes. Well, when you enter the firing range with this mod, all but 5 items of your gear are stripped. Apparently there is a way to get them back, but I did not like this design choice. I talked to the modder via Nexus mods to see what was going on, and they said this was intended behavior, but I did not care for it. Finally, I had some weird problems that seemed to be caused by the free Bethesda creation called the Perfect Recipe. When I decided to try the quest for this mod, I saw textures missing all over Aquila City. I did a bunch of troubleshooting, and it seemed to center on this mod. I've since removed it. I might try it again, but for now I am avoiding it. Finally, let's end with some holiday cheer. There's a free mod that adds a Christmas tree to the fountain near the spaceport in New Atlantis. It's Rabbit's New Atlantis Christmas Tree, and it's available on Creations and Nexus mods. I installed it to my save and visited it. I then exited the game, removed the mod, and reloaded the save. Everything seemed okay, so it should be safe for your game. May this tree bring the spirit of Christmas to your Starfield game, and may Sarah Morgan forever like it. This is cool art made by Make Them Come Alive with AI, by the way. What have you been doing in Starfield? Your insights make this channel a place for positive and honest discussion of the game. In addition to videos, I also post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis. If you subscribe, you'll see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the word Noel. Also, remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Check out my other videos if you want to learn how to keep your ship by building it in the creation kit, or my thoughts on the game's 1-year anniversary. My name is Richard. I will see you in the Starfield.